My 2-year-old is speech delayed and addicted to COCOMELON. Switched to Miss Ranch 2 days ago, and he's already saying more words and hasn't had any tantrums. Damn. Deku Def on that COCOMELON. Facts. That's actually facts, bro. Miss Rachel better. Miss Rachel better.
COCOMELON show is so insanely addictive, it's being compared to nicotine and causing developmental issues amongst the kids who can't stop watching.
That shit happened
Children's
to my
TV
sister.
expert Jerica Sands calls it the most
I put
damaging
my child
show
in
a
the
child
toilet.
can
Yes.
watch, explaining the sneaky ways in which they make the show addictive. Firstly, there's the colors. Take for example the wheels on the bus. The three main colors, blue, green, and yellow, are all at maximum saturation, meaning they cannot be made any brighter, no matter how hard you try. Extreme saturation is normally used for alerts and notifications, as it's exciting, dynamic, and attracts attention, which is why it's also used in slot machines. COCOMELON puts these colors in perfect contrast, making them appear even more vibrant, which is different to, for example, Bluey, in which the colors instead blend together. COCOMELON's also different because it's highly repetitive. There's a reason they have 38 videos with over 1 billion views.
Damn!
A child's brain is wired to learn through repetition, so it feels right to them to watch the same thing over and over
I know
again. COCOMELON.
Them COCOMELON niggas making money, bruh. Them niggas over at COCOMELON, holy fuck. Them niggas are making money. My Astro World taking too fucking long. Nah.
Uses this in almost
The ones on the bus go skibbity skibbity.
every video. For example, in the Yes Yes Playground song, they pick a word to repeat 3 times in every sentence, pairing it with a subtly repeating background lullaby, keeping children hooked. Literally no show or movie puts my son into a deep trance the way COCOMELON does. The second it's on the TV, he turns into a toddler zombie who doesn't see or hear anything else that's going on in the room. This is only exacerbated by COCOMELON's subtitles, which have also been a heavy point of criticism. The letters are not educational. I can barely read them fast enough. It's simply another interesting element to capture your little one's attention. COCOMELON explains in every description, our goal is to help make learning a fun and enjoyable experience for kids, giving you the peace of mind that your children are receiving quality educational content. But people have argued that they're teaching exactly what children shouldn't do. For example, in the No No Bedtime song, the baby refuses to brush his teeth, have a bath, put on pajamas, or get in bed. The education is that he eventually agrees to do so, yet a TikTok user was critical, stating, anytime I'd ask my son to do a simple task, he'd say no, no, no. He's sitting there watching COCOMELON, which taught him no, 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 and to say no to me. On the topic of education...
Yeah, so COCOMELON's bad for kids, chat. COCOMELON's bad for you. Lanky Box Def more sped than COCOMELON.
Jerica Sands stated, these people don't give a shit about our children. They care about money. That's it.
That's
your
true.
child's cognitive development in direct exchange for their wealth, and there's pretty good evidence supporting this. A New York Times journalist visited COCOMELON's studio, discovering their #1 focus
They
is
brainwashing the
keeping
children
hooked. COCOMELON's data and analytics team sifts constantly through YouTube numbers to determine exactly what resonates. Should a girl wear black jeans or blue jeans? Should the music be louder or softer? Should the bus be yellow or red? Yellow is the answer, as they use a darker method to ensure that they're correct. COCOMELON has a dedicated
COCOMELON's just gonna teach kids to become lions.
Once a month, children are brought here one at a time and shown a handful of episodes to figure out exactly which parts of the shows are engaging and which are tuned out. Next to the TV playing COCOMELON, there's a second screen which plays a continuous loop of banal real-world scenes. A guy pouring a cup of coffee, someone getting a haircut, each lasting about 20 seconds. Whenever a youngster looks away from the Moonbug show to glimpse the Distractotron, a note is jotted down. We can see what they're looking at and the exact moment when they got distracted. Therefore, education clearly isn't the primary goal. Keeping kids' attention is, and this is proven by COCOMELON's most addictive element, rapid camera cutting. It's crazy how many times the frame changes on COCOMELON. It's the same type of addicting behavior that we experience on a TikTok binge. It's the quick change of frame that releases that dopamine and makes the videos
just didn't need to exist.
watch.
Facts.
Count the seconds
Fuck that
between
nigga
each change
Caillou.
of frame. Well, TikToker the Circus Brain did exactly this. He firstly counts the changes on My Little Pony, concluding there's about 6 seconds.
Yo, cringe, anytime someone says L ad, do exclamation point.
COCOMELON.
Do exclamation point, September.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1,
Except
2, 1,
I don't fucking know.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
In her video, The Nightmare That Is COCOMELON, Savantix draws a similar conclusion. She found that 96% of the shots in Baby Shark were shorter than 2 seconds. She then compares 4 different animated shows,
Niggas don't
again
got
finding
$4
COCOMELON has the
SMH.
shorter shots.
It's okay
The
though.
longest shot on a COCOMELON video was 6 seconds. The longest shot on Arcane was 8 seconds. The longest shot on Bluey was 27 seconds. And the longest shot on Encanto was 18 seconds.
Which, when combined with every other element, creates some terrifying statistics. Dr. Kristen Summer explained that when showing an infant normal video content, they'll focus on the screen just 11% of the time. However,
Not gonna lie,
when the
bro.
video is
Anytime I see one of my younger siblings or cousins or whatever, bro, on that damn COCOMELON, I'm taking that shit. Turn that bullshit off, bro. COCOMELON is literally the... Ooh, I almost said a bad word, but COCOMELON is literally the mustache man of entertainment. Literally. Yo, sibling watch COCOMELON? I don't fucking know.
instead switch to COCOMELON, their screen engagement skyrockets to a whopping 74%. This therefore produces stories such as this. I used
your
to
AC is
volunteer
crazy,
for a
I can hear it
preschool
from
and
here.
they had song
Nah,
time.
it's my,
A COCOMELON
it's my
video
PC,
came
I think.
on, and all of the tots
Turn it
stopped what they were doing, put down their cheese crackers, and remained fixated
my
on
mic
the
turned
screen
up.
for the duration of the video. It was honestly kind of terrifying. YouTuber Saberspark shared his own personal anecdote. He asked to watch a Disney movie with his 2 younger cousins, who both completely refused, and instead spent all day glued to an iPad playing the addictive show. In COCOMELON Made My Kid a
Connection teach you
Zombie,
to become
a mother
sped?
talks
Yes.
about her son. He would be in a daze while watching it. You could be waving your hand right in front of his face, and he wouldn't move. It was
can't say nothing
almost
about Miss
scary.
Rachel
This was also
being
discovered
good
by
because
Sarah Mills
there's proof that she
98,
was
who
high
explained
in
when
one of the
COCOMELON
vids. Oh.
addiction is so real that my 1-year-old can navigate the TV to turn it on by himself.
Nigga,
However,
1-year-old?
nothing shows the addiction better than the COCOMELON TikTok trend. Parents will play the show's intro loudly and video their kids sprinting toward the television, where
Nah.
you can witness their mood change instantly. The New York Times
Yo,
journalist found something similar.
That's crazy. What the fuck? That's really like a drug for them kids, bruh. It's fine for Miss Rachel to be high. Oh, you think so? But nah, bruh. That's really addicted to them children.
The kid in the Distractotron had shown up in the midst of a tantrum, which ended the second he heard the COCOMELON theme song. It was no surprise to Wheeler, the head of research. 99% of kids
Bro,
he
talk
said,
COCOMELON
if
should
they're
be banned,
having issues
facts.
when they get here, once that COCOMELON song comes on, they're like, life is okay. All is good with the world.
Then Miss Rachel gonna
Obviously,
crash on
there's a
teach kids to
reason
become
for this.
silver sped.
COCOMELON is
Oh.
so hyper-stimulating that it actually acts as a drug, and what happens when you take the drug away. Young children experiencing symptoms of addiction and withdrawal, obviously leaving them completely dysregulated.
Nah, young children really
TikTok
becoming
user
addicts
Beat
already.
Off One filmed what happens when you take the show away, explaining he'll be inconsolable for at least 10 to 15 mins after, adding in the description, COCOMELON meltdown is legit. Once you have a taste of the cocoa, it's hard to break the addiction.
It's really
which
codeine,
this
bruh,
Reddit
or
user had
cocaine.
experienced even worse. My husband and I have been worried
That
about
shit is
our
cocaine for
child.
children,
I can
bruh.
slowly see how she'd throw violent
Cocoa, bruh.
tantrums
That's
at
concerning,
home
oh
and in
God.
church whenever she'd get bored and would want to watch the show. Her behavior changes the moment she watches the show, and she will not even eat her meals
children
if
on
she wouldn't
COCOMELON
watch it.
and
After these
lions
tantrums
on the
end,
whippets,
kids
yeah,
can
bruh.
experience a general discomfort in the
We're
speed
cooked
of
for the
everyday life.
future
The
generation.
more they watch the show, the more their brain begins to expect this intense level of stimulation.
Basically, COCOMELON overstimulates their brains so much that everything else just seems slow and boring in comparison.
However, the potential consequences get much worse than this. As mentioned at the start, it was the cause of a child's speaking problems, with a notable reply reading, "Same thing happened with my daughter too. She's 4 but can't speak properly. She knows the words, but she does not like to frame the sentence or speech. She has been watching these COCOMELONs or such other stuffs for 2 or 3 years. says. Hope we're not too late. Over on Reddit, a speech-language pathologist
For children and
explained
dumb,
that screen
or
time
dumb.
in general is linked
Yeah,
with
children
speech
do be dumb.
delays for a variety of reasons,
But there's some smart ones.
but COCOMELON is excessively
Should
bad.
see some why Skilly be told
Firstly,
instead.
unlike other
Facts.
TV shows or movies, it doesn't have a story. It's just very short clips with poorly written songs. The kids aren't able to follow the plot, learn vocabulary, and see the resolution of a conflict, supported by infant specialist Meg Fora.
And the problem with fast-paced TV programs is that we find that little one's language development is slower.
On the Agents of Speech YouTube channel, this is again confirmed.
The main problem with watching videos on the internet is that they don't know how to use the language that they learn.
But he adds that 4 to 5 hours of screen time per day can make a toddler completely non-verbal. 4 to 5 hours is obviously a lot of time, but in
Yeah, it is,
COCOMELON Made
bro.
My Kid a
I mean,
Zombie,
I get
researchers
fucking
discovered that
4 to 8
5-year-olds
hours
who
on a
watch more
stream.
than 2 hours of TV a day tended
Well,
to have
on
lower
stream,
attention
bro.
spans and were 7.7
If we're already
times
cooked, then
more
why won't
likely
you
to show
make us
symptoms
more
of
cooked?
ADHD. These screen times might be even lower for COCOMELON specifically because, as explained by Jerica Sands, not all screen time is created equal. A child who just watched 30 minutes of COCOMELON and a child
Yo,
who
MLK
just
did
watched
not
30
die
minutes
for
of
this,
Trash
bro.
Truck will look like a very, very different child. Thankfully, here lies a simple solution. Sierra Renee explained my 2-year-old is speech delayed and addicted to COCOMELON. Switched to Miss Rachel 2 days ago, and he's already saying more words and hasn't had any tantrums. Kim.it shared an almost identical anecdote. My 8-month-old was obsessed with COCOMELON and having bad tantrums, so I cancelled COCOMELON and only let her watch Miss Rachel, and she said her first word within the first 3 days of watching.
Oh,
Clearly,
wow.
parents are able to simply change the channel, but not before leaving COCOMELON a massive amount of dislikes. They've therefore earned the title, the absurdly popular kids show parents hate, and COCOMELON has actually responded
Fuck
to the
COCOMELON,
criticism
bro.
that explain our shows are not intended to replace outdoor playtime or playdates. They have a place in children's entertainment time, and as with food, exercise, etc., it comes
This
down to
nigga loves
each
gunning
parent
my
to
shit.
find the
They be
right and
gunning.
appropriate balance for their children. Our responsibility is ensuring that the quality of the content that we produce is high and beneficial for the development of a child's cognitive and soft skills. It is worth adding that our social media communities are filled with stories of parents who experience firsthand how Moonbug content helps their children. COCOMELON does have a crazy amount of supporters, but it's obvious that some of them are simply ignoring the downsides. My baby learned the alphabet and numbers from COCOMELON. She may not speak a complete sentence, but she expresses her wants through phrases. But is it COCOMELON's responsibility to ensure that babies are talking? Well, no. People love blaming cartoons and games for raising children, and not the shitty parents that don't step in to stop them from watching so much. COCOMELON is actually a really sad symbol of parents giving their children tablets instead of actually parenting and interacting with them. Ultimately, parents are the people who choose how
That
much
is
their
true.
child consumes.
Hey, I was interested though. Interesting video.